Sportskeeda, SummerSlam is coming together. AEW is pretty pissed. What are they mad about? We're going to get into all of it. I'm becoming, I believe, quite the singer. It is Rings and Rambles coming to you every Monday on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel and other associated platforms where you can find us. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you're with us for the first time, don't make it the last time. Turn those reminders on so you know exactly when we go live with all of this good stuff. We delayed just a little bit because there's some breaking news. Oh, spooky wrestling breaking news. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the free agency moves that WWE is making that are pissing people off. A lot of WWE SummerSlam talk. We're a few weeks away from SummerSlam. Big arena show from stadium show from WWE. Yeah. And we'll get into your questions and different things like that, especially if you guys are rip-roaring live. Get your comments on screen. Get your comments on screen. I want to hear from you. I'll put you on screen. We'll hear your takes. You guys are a part of the conversation. I'm Kev Kellum. That is Nick Harkson. A lot to cover today. Before we just went live here, I want to talk about this breaking Bray Wyatt, news. The Wyatt six. I have to get used to saying that correctly. They threatened Pat McAfee during his live show, and that clip just came up in my feed. I watch the show sometimes later in the afternoon, and of course they've been teasing something with him, and I think it's a way to keep him in the conversation. They haven't had a match yet, so do they do something at SummerSlam? What do you have them do at SummerSlam? Maybe that's just the big angle, not even a match really. I don't even think they have a match for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not sure when we're going to get a match from the Wyatt Six, but SummerSlam would be a great time to have them come out. I want to see them a part of the show no matter what. I want to see them wreak some havoc here, like they did the first night when they were there, showed absolute dominance. Chad Gable was bleeding. I think they are kind of this, this little tease. Maybe they are coming after Pat McAfee. The whole "you lied" that popped up on the screen during the show and all this stuff. Who knows what they're doing here, but I'm intrigued with it. I like the angle that they're going here with the Wyatt Six. I don't think you necessarily need a match quite yet, but I am excited to see them in the ring, get some work done. I still don't see it happening at SummerSlam, but I would like to see them incorporated into the show, doing something, messing up a match in some way.
I want to hear from you guys. Get in the conversation. Let us know what you guys think is going to be going on here with WWE SummerSlam. Let's run down those other big matches. Of course, big angle on this week's SmackDown. And they're doing this with the women's and the men's, not just making it a one-on-one scenario. There's a lot of moving parts. There has been with the Bloodline. Anytime you get a member of the Bloodline, it's giving the truth. Cody Rhodes is the valiant hero defending all of that is true and virtuous and everything WWE is the fighting champion. You can simply have your contract signed, Solo. I have defeated your kind before. And I will not acknowledge you. I will acknowledge you as the person I will defeat at SummerSlam on the 3rd of August in the land of lovers, Ohio. I don't know why I'm using that voice. Now, that was the ending of SmackDown, where Cody Rhodes also had the aid of a former foe, but mostly an ally for the most part in his career. He's taken an RKO or two in the past.
Oh, yeah.
But certainly someone he admires, in Randy Orton. So Randall Orton comes to save the day, only to be beaten down by the Bloodline and get put through a table with Cody Rhodes wrapped up in the ropes, tied up in these ropes right here. He's like, "No, take me!" I thought that was so dramatic and over the top, and wrestling was so ridiculous. But earlier in the night, Randy Orton alluding to, when this whole thing is settled.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for that title.
He's coming for it. And that first RKO that he lands on Cody now after all this, it's going to get a huge reaction. I mean, people are going to lose their minds.
Now, this is, of course, Solo Sikoa's bloodline. He has the Tongans, Tongaloa. And, of course, Jacob Fatu, his enforcer. They have all acknowledged me. Step up and acknowledge me.
Yeah.
I'm noticing how much Solo is really leaning into every syllable. He's cutting his promos recently. I enjoy it. It's good. It's not bad stuff. His promos have stepped up. They did these pre-shot promos with him, and then he got to close the show. So he's kind of playing like, if he's the Dollar General version of Roman Reigns, he's hitting that mark. And guess what? That's how he's supposed to be.
Yeah, that is.
If you liked bad guy Roman Reigns, you're not supposed to like this bad guy Solo Sikoa, because eventually Roman Reigns is going to come back and beat up this bad dude.
You are right about that.
So it's also a weird scenario. Like, how do you keep Solo strong if you're going to keep this belt on Cody in a couple weeks? It's very interesting. And then you're going to have Randy Orton as the outside element. So I do think Cody gets through the match with the title.
Yes.
But what happens right after that, I think, is going to be the what if. What if Roman shows up?
Yeah.
Randy Orton turns on him. What if Solo wins? But I think you can bet on Cody winning it. Interesting stuff as well with Nia Jax and Bayley. I wasn't expecting them to heat this thing up. I'm not claiming it's red hot. But of course, Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, has the title opportunity against her at SummerSlam. And in that, Nia gets booed because no one likes Nia. Cody is going to beat Sore Soluser. Soluser. I love a good pun. I love that. Beat that. You hear me in the chat? Who's beating this? Who is going to beat Soluser? I want to know who's going to beat Soluser. All right.
Love the play on words there. Love it.
You can roman up or you can lose down.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, you see, I'm just so smart.
I know. You're quick. You're quick with it.
Pierre Paulet says, I feel like SummerSlam, Cody versus Solo is going to be another Bloodline rules match.
Could be. And
which is just they get to interfere, right? Isn't that what a Bloodline rules match is?
It's basically anything goes for the Bloodline. They get to come out and beat you down.
I don't know if that's good for Cody because that's kind of the elements that he was in at WrestleMania.
Yep. It did pan out in his favor though with all the guys.
But then it's just a run-on festival.
True. True.
He had 2 really great matches with AJ Styles that I think people are sleeping on.
Yeah.
And also everyone's like, I don't like him as a champion. It's boring. Shut up. You if you didn't say anything, then it would be bad. I think that's when you're not saying anything about him as champion. That's not good. So I think that isn't giving a save. Sometimes the chase is the thrilling part, and then you get the title, then it cools off, right? I think some of that's just natural with wrestling, especially WWE.
Yeah.
That isn't me absolving him from it. If I think it's just kind of a little bit set, but he's playing the action hero, and you had, I know a lot of people like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and miss him. I was like, what is the element you're missing here? Like, what are you missing? Are you missing a guy who's on TV every week? Like, are you missing a guy who's like almost never, like that was the pattern for him the last 2 years. Cody is in the ring getting physical with someone like all the time. Not to say Roman wouldn't get physical. He would get physical. But he's going to have matches on TV much more often than Roman will. And I think Roman not being there was part of the element that kept it interesting. There's many times where it was just the Bloodline is there for Roman this week. Yeah. And with Solo, I can say Solo is there. He is a present foe, an adversary. So I do like that. But back over to Bayley and Nia. Inserting Miss Tiffy Stratton as the champion. And they kind of tease that she would. There was a fracas post-match. Nia Jax beats up on Meechin, kind of playing a supporting role. Hey, Mia Yim's in there, but she beats up on her, and then she says, I'm going to take your title, all that stuff. And then, she says, this is my personal baby doll, a little Barbie doll, Tiffy. Tiffy nearly cashes in on Bayley after a double team there. And Nia Jax says, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? So that's just the tease there. That's simple enough. Yeah. Jacob Fatu beats up on DIY. Maybe the Tongans get to take on them at SummerSlam. So there's some solid stuff here. Now, is there anything stadium worthy? Is it lacking to you? I've heard some people say they don't think SummerSlam is a full card right now. You're also getting Damian Priest versus Gunther. Maybe we're obviously going to get something, hopefully, with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. That's been teased. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think?
I mean, I think that they're still the full card. I don't think has been announced. I think it's going to live up to the hype. SummerSlam's always a great event. They do have some high caliber matches there. I mean, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, that's huge. Gunther versus Damian Priest, I think that will be a great one as well. And then we got the women having their title match too, Nia Jax and Bayley. I think it's a good card. I think that they're going to add more. We might get to see something with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Who knows?
We're going to get a big, I think that'll be a big, the reactions to that last week when Rhea Ripley came out were huge.
Yeah. So I think the card's still being built and it's going to be better than it is right now. And there's already good matches on the card. So I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. I think we're going to get some surprises. We do every single year. And, well, not every year, but it seems like they like to have some surprises on SummerSlam. It's one of the bigger PLEs of the year, always. So I expect it to be a great show. And I already like the matches that are on there. And I think it's going to just get better from here.
Well, people are always talking about WWE contract news. What's going on with this person? What's going on with that person, and so forth. And we had some of that this weekend. As this kind of broke Friday into the weekend, is WWE has signed a big name that's out there, and another name that's already in their fold, that has been in their fold for a long, long time, is going to stay with the company. So a very established name with the company that many think will be a Hall of Famer. It seemingly is going to maybe wrap up her career with WWE. And another free agency signing has been brought into the fold and has upset some people outside of WWE. So we'll get into all this. But before I do that, I do have to remind you to play the coolest wrestling game that is out there, BrainBuster. Yes, BrainBuster is available right now. You can play it right at our website, Sportskeeda.com. You go to Sportskeeda.com back right there on the main page. You see that little thing right there? There's a little blue square right next to it. That's BrainBuster. And BrainBuster is pretty simple. I'm going to be playing this live tonight on Legion of Raw with Vince Russo after Monday Night Raw. And it's a clue game, and you can basically whittle it down to one specific wrestler each day. So you can play it once a day, and you have 8 chances to figure out who the wrestler of the day is. So kind of like figure out who the person is based on stats and different things about them. So you can whittle it down from male superstar, their height. Oh, if I can just imagine, if I can remember how tall this person is, like all these like things that like you feel like, oh, if I say this out loud, people are going to think I'm a complete wrestling weirdo. Now, if you know those things inside your brain, you can bust the game. So you can play every single day at Sportskeeda.com. I'm going to take that off the screen because Sportskeeda is spelled wrong like an idiot. And of course, I work for that website, so isn't that a stupid look? But no, play BrainBuster right now and get involved in it, guys. It is quite worth it to play this game. I've had a really, really good time with it. Have you played it? Have you beaten it? One day I beat it in like 3 shots. I was very, very happy with myself.
Wow. Nice. No, mine's taken at least 5. I'm never good at the first few guesses. I don't know where to start. So that's just. I
also love the variety of it. Like the variety, like if you've been watching wrestling your whole life, this is like the best thing.
It is fun. It is really fun.
You know, like I know people that do the crossword puzzle all the time. This is the wrestling crossword puzzle. Like this is that, and you should be playing it right now. BrainBuster is available. Sportskeeda.com. Once again, I'll be playing that tonight with Vince Russo, bro.
Nice.
Back to this here. Other people chiming in here with different takes on everything here. People saying BrainBuster. Of course, bringing up the head dropping suplexes calls what they would do on Japanese wrestling. BrainBuster.
Yes.
Tunnel Service. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Good day. God bless you all. Good on you, buddy, as well. Byron Cutler, according to a source.
What's the
all
source?
Things Bloodline Wrestling Corner Zilla Fatu going to be Roman Reigns corner War Games. That's just fantasy booking, brother. That's just fantasy booking, brother. It is so far from now. People always ask me to do the Dr. Evil thing on the show, so I don't mind goofing around. But teased was this WWE contract news. Hit the like. You really want the hot take from me. And I do. I don't want to say I have a hot take. I have a very stone cold sobering take on this.
Okay. I'm going to hit the like button for you.
Okay. Hit the like button and we'll keep this going here. But I'll give you the news. I've teased it enough. Stephanie Vaquer has signed with WWE. This is confirmed by Shawn Michaels in a big way. What a way to announce this. And then she's an established name in Lucha Libre in CMLL, where she is their women's champion and their women's tag team champion, one half of that.
Mm-hmm.
She's the standing champion for another international promotion. Now, are you saying, I don't watch Lucha, I don't know? It's something else to sign somebody, to sign somebody who is a champion. Some companies just don't have contracts like that. And they just sign you by dates, and you commit to your dates. You're their champion. All right, you will fulfill your dates with us. So the circumstances of signing somebody who's a standing champion for another promotion, it's not unheard of, but very, very rare that happens. And there is conflicting reports. Some of them tend to just lean to the side that she told CMLL, which has a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and AEW, directly or indirectly, depending on who you talk to and how those conversations are done, because there's some lucha conflicts there.
Right.
That she did this within like the last week and a half.
Yeah.
And, decided to go with WWE. There is a legal situation, by the way, that I think some people are not including in the conversation involving her and a romantic partner who is reportedly still in prison. Okay, so that's a nasty situation. That is somebody who's on the roster. Now, there are people that have come out and defended him from accusations of a serious conflict between Stephanie Vaquer and this person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to get too far into it, but some of those people are signed to AEW talent. So maybe that was a discouraging thing for her to go to AEW. As if that wasn't enough, she was on an AEW pay-per-view, having maybe, outside of the main event with Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, maybe the best match on the show. Forbidden Door, the big opening door. Hey, bring in the talent from New Japan. She's the New Japan Women's Strong Champion. She had 3 belts. What a name. 3 belts. She came into that show with CML, Women's Tag Team Champion, Women's World Tag Team Champion, and she had the New Japan Strong Women's title.
Yep.
Well, Mercedes Moné took that belt off her. She's now a double champ. And you'd think they were trying to sign her. Yes, obviously they were.
Yeah.
But she went to the competition. And she went to the competition under some very, very challenging circumstances. Because this is a market now where some people contracts are coming up, and this is a different WWE than it was a few years ago. This is a different AEW than it was a few years ago. And is this a sign of things that are happening here? I laid out everything with her. There's another name we'll talk about here in a minute, though, too.
I mean, I like this move. She showed up in Mexico in WWE already, but you think that maybe
that was huge.
That was huge, yeah.
You see the videos of that. What a rollout.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the big superstar, Chilean superstar, but big Latin American superstar, big name in Mexico. Hey, if you see this person in CML, well, now they're in WWE. Yeah. That was what WWE politically did. That is what they did for fans in Latin America. They did that on a live event. They had her beat the women's tag team champion in WWE. She didn't just beat, we're just going to have her go beat somebody from NXT. No. They had her beat somebody on the main roster who's a women's tag team champion. Lower ranking thing. All right, just in terms of the pecking order, I'm honest about that. But
it's okay.
What a rollout!
Is she going to be main roster right away? I could see her definitely.
I think NXT.
Right
I think NXT right now.
Yeah, her and Sean. Well, Sean obviously made the post welcome to WWE and everything too. So that's why I do see her in NXT, but I don't see her staying there too long. I mean, she's already got the skills to be up there at the level.
The what's the played out word? Aura. There's a big time there. But also it's a packed game right now for women on the main roster.
It is. Yeah.
And maybe some people got to come down for some people to go up.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that up. All right.
Okay.
So I'll bring that up, and I don't say that discouragingly. I'll also shout out to Denise Salcedo, who's just one of the best people in wrestling media. She did a Spanish language interview with Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie is doing I've seen her do a lot of media. As she does speak some English, but a lot of the media I see her do, it's in Spanish. So is that an issue? I've seen that be an issue for some people before, but look, there's a lot of people that work around that. If English isn't their first language, Asuka is a big star. Sky is a big star. Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura, he speaks English, but it's not, he's more emotive when he's speaking Japanese and cutting promos in Japanese. And I think you want to see that. And it's a worldwide company. And now you have somebody who's from South America. You have a lot of, Mexican American talent. You have a lot of Central American talent. It makes sense. This is a truly worldwide company. You can say you have somebody from Chile, and that's a big market. It is. I'm not saying it's a huge market, but when WWE's gone there, they've done all right. So people saying any word on Becky Lynch and her contract and what she plans to do? No word right now, but I have not heard anybody say, that she's close to signing with AEW or another company. But I also think she's a mother of a young age, and maybe she's not itching to get back in the ring and she did a lot of promo work in terms of promoting other people. She won the NXT Women's title, but really she wanted to put it on somebody too.
Yeah.
She did that. She did, I think, the build up to WrestleMania 38 about 2 years ago was that. She did some other big matches along the way and brought that one. Oh, she's Hulk Hogan, brother. She's backstage stroking near the end of her contract. She get the title and then got the title just to put it on Liv. You know, she had to extend the title's lifespan and make it more interesting week to week. So, and all those people that said that months ago, now they're all on board with Liv. You know, they're on board with, or at least Liv having the title so that Rhea can chase her with it, you know,
it's a good
and have all the revenge stuff. So with Becky Lynch, I don't see her going anywhere else.
I don't either.
You know, I think she can have a comfortable life in WWE and have a more flexible schedule and get paid handsomely for it.
Definitely. I think she's a WWE lifer, and I thought this winner
that could change.
It could definitely change. I mean,
Edge was going to be a WWE lifer, you know.
Very true. And like we said before, money talks. Tony Khan's got that bank account that can pay out anybody and bring him over to AEW. But I still think Becky, her home is WWE. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be proven wrong in the near future, but I think she's going to stay with WWE for life.
Sunglass Guy with a good question here about the upcoming John Cena retirement tour. We will take your questions. We will take more questions, but I wanted to stay on topic here. Want to hear from you guys here. More stuff going on here with contracts. Natalya. Why am I talking about her? She's someone who's been synonymous with WWE now for a very, very long time. She has the most matches of any woman in the history of WWE.
Yep.
That is a remarkable thing to say about yourself. Guinness World Record holder, but she's never been considered top female talent. But is she the person that makes those people? 100%. So like she is not the gatekeeper. She is the gate. But part of being through the gate is you got to go through the gate, and people go through her, and she's there. She's trained a lot of people. She's had a significant hand in the development of Jade Cargill, I understand, and also other people are training with her that are involved in wrestling.
Joe Hendry.
So it is Joe Hendry was training with her, and he's in TNA, and you have people in AEW that are making her way down to the Florida dungeon.
Yep.
You know, that she has had, and she has it on social media, and it is not a hidden thing. And when you have that stroke where you can openly say, oh yeah, start filming me. I'm going to do chain wrestling drills with somebody from AEW in my backyard, in my ring. I'll train you. Come and train. If you're verified, I'll train you. You know, and if you have somebody who wants that life to just be involved with wrestling, anyway, I still think she's somebody who could leave WWE.
Yeah.
Go do big things. And All Elite Wrestling wanted her. Reportedly, they really wanted her. But we're not able to get her. Dave Meltzer saying recently she re-signed. So she signed a new deal. There was interest from the other side. She did not enter free agency. So Natalya, I know we heard her deal was up, but her contract had not expired yet. And WWE wanted to make sure to lock her up before her contract expired. She's gotten a really good offer. I think it was back in May, but she just re-signed. It is believed to be a multi-year extension. And of course, this is a thing for Natalya. I also think this is different for wrestling in general. And before we get into AEW, we'll talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is good because you have somebody who's really given a lot. And I want to say this, and we're just two dudes, right? And this is for me talking to people that have worked for WWE. Women of a certain age, and I'm not being ageist, women of a certain age in WWE have it a lot harder than men in terms of the way they're perceived, not just by any fan, but by other female fans. Female fans want to see that they're more about the trending, who's the person now type character. And those are the people they attach themselves to. You know, this generation of fans, the Bellas are their girl. Right? Yeah. This generation of fans, they want to boo Charlotte and cheer Becky kicking Charlotte's ass, or vice versa, right? Mm-hmm. And there's gals that you and I like in wrestling that we've enjoyed that are great wrestlers, right?
Yes.
And I think for Natalya, respect has to be given here. She's getting this deal, obviously, because it's a competitive market. She could have went to AEW if she wanted to. But it's a flexible market.
Yeah, it is.
AJ Styles just had this match with Pro Wrestling Noah over the weekend where he got to do a New Japan style match not in New Japan, because New Japan has a deal with AEW, but with Noah, and they treated it like a big deal, and he got to do interviews for it, and he got to film things and say, I am from the WWE, and I'm going to do this, and why are we doing these things? To make those talents that are not in prime positions comfortable and happy while we retain their services. Are you creatively fulfilled? I will not be surprised if you see Natalya pop up and do some things outside of WWE while still under a contract with WWE. Select talents and very specific circumstances are getting to do that. Ozymander saying Tony Khan has an NFL team. He has an NFL team, but he doesn't have an Natalya. And apparently, they wanted her. They really wanted her. There have been reported interest in her signing to All Elite Wrestling, or them wanting to get her. But obviously, this is a competitive market. These two different situations, two different talents, two different points in their careers. But I want to know, we're talking about Ricochet showing up in AEW anytime now. Anytime. And that seems like the direction they're going. And what are they going to call him? They're going to call him Travis or something like that. Because he won't be able to call himself Ricochet. WWE,
Prince Puma. I'm telling you.
You want Prince Puma?
He's coming back.
He's not going to put the mask on.
I'm just wanting my own personal booking there. That's a fantasy booking of
Travis Puma Shay. It's gonna be like a combination of both names.
That is funny. I would like that. I wouldn't like it. I mean, it'd be funny if he came out with Travis Puma Shay. That would be hilarious. But no, Natalya though. What's her angle with WWE though moving forward? I mean, she re-signed with them, but she didn't have.
They were doing something. She got to do an underground match at NXT, which seemed to be like a little bit out of the norm for her. She got to do some stuff in NXT. She never won a title there, but she's gone down to NXT like a lot. And has had big matches with people and helped make stars, but that's been her whole career. It's just like build her up a little bit, have her make somebody. Build her up a little bit, have her make somebody. Do a silly fart thing they did years ago that people still think is ridiculous. Have her be at ringside for some people, have an emotional moment, get to have the women's tag team titles. She's had fleeting runs with the women's titles. I don't think she's had the Raw or SmackDown women's title in years. I know she had the Divas title for a bit.
Yeah.
But she's always just being seen as a good mechanical hand. And can you get fans can you get a young female fan who's 13 or 14 to believe in this woman? I don't know. But what I think you can do is I think you can make her a great villain.
Oh yeah.
Make her if you can't get fans to cheer, I bet you can get fans to boo her.
Oh yeah.
I bet you can really get fans to boo her.
I can see
that frustration, they were kind of going in that direction. She lost a match to Kiana James. It's like had like less than 3 matches on Raw or something like that, right?
Her first match,
her debut. Right? He beat her in her debut.
Yeah.
So that's what I would want to see. And I would want that'd be a sign to people of it. Hey, I know you think we're signing all these different people and we're bringing in a Jade Cargill, we're bringing this.
Well, no matter what, she's great for development. I mean, I know they've already been using her.
And I do think that's a lot of what's going to happen with her. I think you have John Cena, a huge team. Obviously, the WWE is going to want him. They would give him any job they could just to keep, even when he's done wrestling, just to have him associate with the company in some way, right?
And I see that
with Natalya. I'm not saying that she's going to get that type of deal, but I do think, wow, you could have a woman past the age of 40 who's literally lived her life in wrestling.
Yeah,
raised in the business, Hart family, pedigree, across the board, deeply trusted. You want somebody like that.
Yeah,
you want somebody at the table like that.
And it's good on WWE to do the Hearts right as well.
Yeah.
So it's a good look.
Yes, 100%. But now it's on AEW to sign some talent. People, and some people are going to leave WWE.
They will.
Some people are. Chad Gable, decided to stay. Seth Rollins, decided to stay. Starting to see things go like under Triple H. People are like, all right, and you have new ownership, and I know I'm going to get real good money. And if I don't get great money, I'm going to get good money for dates. WWE never did that before. It was always like, signed here.
And a name who is giving praise to Triple H recently, I don't know if you saw, but Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey said that she likes what Triple H is doing, and she liked working with Triple H.
That's a real tonal change, though, from her.
I know, sorry.
Her media tour. She really wanted to trash them.
She did.
Mediocre. Yeah.
But just this past week, she gave him some praise. So
a
little bit.
Oh. There's smoke there, you think?
I don't know. That's what we could see. That's a lot of people keeping their mind open now that Triple H is there. They're keeping that door open. They might make a little return. Who knows?
John Roser with a great question here. Do you think SummerSlam will have more than 7 matches? The big pay-per-views for WWE have gone into this different perspective because it's streaming and you're on Peacock and you have commercial breaks. And guess what? When they go to Netflix, they're gonna position it the same way.
Yeah.
For I'm talking specifically to the international audience who they're going to get it on Netflix before we do. But Peacock, it's premium live events are treated like things with paper with commercial breaks in them. Mm-hmm. So how that affects those shows is weird, because how do you make the transition from match to match, and you have video packages, and maybe you want to do an in-ring segment and stuff like that too. Most, I think it does 6. Have they done a kickoff match? Have they done a match on the kickoffs, like the pre-shows? They haven't done a match on any of those in a long time.
I haven't seen one in a while, and I usually am tuned in to the everything.
So. I like, if I'm watching it live, I like having it on in the background. I would put one there. I mean, in terms of the lower card stuff, but also what's bigger? I mean, if you're a DIY and you win the tag titles, on the Friday before Money in the Bank in front of a full arena, or do you want to win it at 6:30 and people are getting to their seat and the big card starts in 30 minutes?
I think I
bet you'd want to win. I bet you'd want to win it on Friday. That sounds on paper, it sounds like a demotion because you get to do the big thing on TV and not on the pay-per-view. But in terms of streaming and different stuff like that, it's not the worst spot to be in. Probably a little bit better.
I would say so, and a lot more people are seeing it right away. Not everybody's tuning in to the PLEs every single weekend. A lot of people got a lot of things going on the weekend, but they'll tune in to SmackDown because they're loyal and they see that. But yeah, I would much rather get the main event win for the championship on Friday night than a pre-show match on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people here want to hear from you guys. Byron Cutler, I think, following. I'm struggling to find a time where she was a women's champion. Oh, she was a women's champion. She won a Divas championship.
What about Natalya? Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Ask us any wrestling questions you guys got. I want to get into them. Shout out to everyone who's on the Wrestle Room page as well. Will SmackDown be 3 hours when it goes to USA Network? Now, in October, some interesting things that WWE is doing here. In October, that's going to see a lot of different changes there. So, SmackDown will move from Fox Network Television, broadcast TV in the United States, the biggest media market for media content in the world. And they're going to move to USA Network. Now, the word is they're staying on Friday nights. This 3-hour conversation, I think, is more motivated by fans, but I've heard that too. Yeah. That it's a little bit of a, NBC Universal, I know we're taking Monday Night Raw, the show that's been on USA Network since on and off, short of 5 years, since 1993. We're taking that to Netflix, and internationally, it looks like we're taking everything to Netflix, and we have one more year with your Peacock streaming service for our premium live events. But here's another hour of SmackDown, and here's $10 to $20 million more of possible advertising revenue you can make per quarter or whatever. But I don't know if 3 hours on a Friday night is doable. Also, I think Friday night is a really, really tough spot. It was a tough spot on network TV.
It was,
but they did well. But Fox didn't feel like they made the money they wanted for it. Right. I think it could do a lot better on a different night.
I agree 100% because I watch SmackDown Saturday mornings. I don't watch it on Friday night,
which is fun. But I mean, that's non-linear viewing, whenever it talks about overnight TV ratings and stuff like that, I give AEW the break on a lot of that stuff too. But ratings are ratings, and it's still indicative of the attention of an audience day of and live in the moment, and so a lot of people look at that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch SmackDown on Friday night. I work Friday nights, so
would 3 hours be too much for you? 3 hours would be too much.
3 hours, I think, would be. But
maybe
are they
maybe a super SmackDown now and then? Just now and then. Now and then, I wouldn't mind it now and then.
You're onto something there. I really do like that idea. Every now and then, when big events are happening, when there's it's hot. Yeah,
SmackDown presents, and like they treat it like a pay-per-view on TV and just do one big gimmick match or something like that. Maybe who knows? It's really, really hard. There's so much, there's so much to keep up with, and how many slices of the pie can you cut that retain their flavor, and I think 3 hours, I think 2 hours is Perfect. So also in October, things going on with NXT, which is ratings are up.
Oh yeah,
people are interested in Joe Hendry. People are interested in Trick Williams. People are interested in Ethan Page shaking things up. Not saying it's the biggest show, but I mean,
AEW's
gotta watch your ass.
They do
watch your ass, even though they're not head to head. What would it be? People saying there's gonna be 8 matches on SummerSlam. I doubt that. Do you want half of those matches being 3 minutes each? I don't think so. Minus the entrances. Here's a great question. Now, John, all the great questions today, John. When do you think Charlotte comes back? She's been on the shelf for quite some time. She had a really bad knee injury. That was really nasty.
It was bad.
Sometime in the fall.
How long has she been out?
Sometime in the fall.
She's been out for a very long time, but I know that those knee injuries with any sport, they take a long time to recover. And I'm not saying she's someone who's had injuries. She's, and this is probably the most severe in her career. This was bad. Yeah.
What is that going to do? How are you going to adjust, and how do you want to make things interesting? I'll say this too. She went to NXT and had some fun.
Yeah.
NXT's making that move in October. They're moving from USA Network over to the CW. They announced 2 big arena shows, one in September that will run in conjunction with a arena town. They'll be on a Tuesday, Raw will be on a Monday. All right. They're going to do that again in October. I heard some rumblings they were going to do it in Chicago. It ended up it's going to be in Philadelphia, I believe, or Pennsylvania, excuse me. So they're going to do Halloween Havoc there. Previous month, they'll do their special premium live event there. But those will be big shows. I believe that'll likely be, though it's going to be on Tuesday, so they're going to be on TV, but they're going to treat them like a premium live event, like they've been doing. Hey, it's on TV, but it's Halloween Havoc, and that type of thing. So I would have Charlotte there.
Didn't NXT last year? They did. It was a few weeks of Halloween Havoc, wasn't it?
They did 2. Sometimes they'll split them. They'll split them over 2 weeks. I wonder what that's going to be like if you do one big arena show, though. You kind of want maybe you just want it on one night.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Because they were taping some of it, though. You know what I mean? Like, so it would be like live, and some of it would be taped, and then maybe next week they would be live, and so there's part of it here. People ask me. I will avoid the Trump question because I don't.
Okay.
Jesse, hi. I see your question. I'm not trying to blow it up, but I just don't not address that. And I would hope that people are looking for an escape, just wrestling oriented stuff. But I appreciate your curiosity about life. How about Raw, SmackDown, NXT Tuesdays back to Wednesdays? Yeah, just a lot of change here. That's if WWE wants to move SmackDown.
Let's do it.
Come on, dude.
No. I mean, it would be great. I don't know. It'd be fun.
If they moved.
I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride if we have some Wednesday night wars. But it's going to be interesting. Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that. But I'm not counting it out.
You're not?
I'm not. I could see. I don't know. I don't think Triple H is that petty. I don't want to call him petty because he's not. But if AEW wants war,
hey, they said it was going to be a marathon, not a race. Before that was the term that WWE used in an official statement in 2019 when Dynamite right out of the gates did a huge number, right, against NXT Black and Gold. And then proceeded, short of a few weeks, to beat him up. This is a fresh, hot hand show against Show and Arena, big names, against what people thought was WWE's third-tier brand.
Yeah.
Still good stuff. But is AEW right now capable of going up against a SmackDown with Cody Rhodes?
No. Sorry, AEW fans. I just don't think so at all.
What other night could they be on? Could they be on Thursdays? Yeah, I think it stays on Fridays, but I just think Friday night cable TV. I don't know. I would move it.
I'm with you.
I would. Me, if I had the multi-billion-dollar company,
right?
But Friday nights, what else is on? You can own the night.
True.
If you're not up against big sports.
Yeah, because if you go to Thursday, coming up very soon, you're going to be competing with Thursday Night Football. They already compete with Monday Night Football with Raw. So, I mean, I don't know if they want to do
and
that.
you're going to have playoff sports.
Yeah.
You're going to have playoff sports and stuff like that, too.
Exactly. Yep.
So, yeah.
It's coming up.
Ozzy saying, is NXT going to CW? Yes, that'll be in October. I believe that's mid-October they're doing that. Trinity asked me, what is your opinion about the signing of Stephanie Vaquer? We touched on this and we did a full segment on it earlier, but I don't mind doing it because you guys are with us live. It's a sign of what WWE is as a company right now. Look at the depth they have. You know, I mean, this is somebody who was a champion. Mind you, some companies don't have contracts. Here, we're going to set you up for these dates. We're going to pay you these dates. We're going to agree to these dates. You know, she pulled out. They had to make new champions this week in CML based on her pulling out. And New Japan, who also had her doing some work and had her committed to some dates. There were some dates she was committed to in Europe. They're off the table.
Yeah.
She is with WWE now. But it's also interesting because you have WWE saying, oh, New Japan, you're the rival promotion that sometimes you'll work with. Pro Wrestling Noah. We're gonna send AJ Styles there. So it's this very testy situation. Where doors are being opened and closed, and
yeah,
depends on who's opening what door and who you're going into the door with. It's a very lines are getting blurry, but certainly there's still tension there.
It's fun though.
Someone telling me there's gonna be 8 matches on SummerSlam. We'll see. You know, my thing is if you have 8 matches with the way that WWE's been doing it, and you have those ad breaks, some of the matches are not going to get what you want them to have.
No,
and some of those like. You're going to have 20-minute matches? Yes, you're going to have 20-minute matches. People want that. They want a 20-minute match. And on premium live events, you're not going to break them with ads. They're going to break into them. This isn't TV, like weekly television. No, you're going to match will end. Then they'll, all right, we'll have a video package. And for our premium subscribers, you guys get to see this video package. Other people, here's an ad for 2 or 3 minutes. You know, and that's it. That's the way things are now. And I think a lot of fans who would be mad about that aren't as mad as they think they are.
No, and Triple H in the last presser after Money in the Bank, you know, he kind of made it clear it's better to have, you know, these 5.
Less is more.
Less is more. Yeah. He goes, thank God this wasn't a 15-match card and all that. I know you heard what he said, but
some people thought that was a shot at AEW, right?
But then
because Forbidden Door is 14 matches.
Yeah.
They had the pre-show. They did 3 matches on that. And,
but I mean, right away, he was like, oh God, please don't look into that too much. You know, he wasn't trying to be that
also
way,
I was at WrestleMania 35.
Where there was how was that?
So everyone's saying we don't give WWE gripe, you know.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a certain member of the WWE production staff who people know by name. I don't want to say his name because this is off the record, but he saw him walk out of there and he looked pretty spent. You know, like he was like the crowd. And there was a storm. I remember I was at that show. It just took forever to get out of there. Is Asuka coming back? Yeah, Asuka was somebody else who had a surgery and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
I know we didn't mean to stumble in this topic, but if WWE SmackDown moves to Wednesdays, what would your reaction be? Now, mind you, at this time, everything the company's put out says, "Oh, we're on Fridays. We're on Fridays at the same time."
What would my reaction be?
Yeah, what would your reaction be? You and I do this show next week. You know, maybe we do a show the Monday after SummerSlam, and in the middle of SummerSlam, and then they say, "Oh, by the way, we're moving SmackDown to Wednesday nights."
I mean, I would probably laugh just because not
it's not going to Tuesdays.
Yeah,
NXT's staying.
NXT's there.
They're staying there.
I would just be like, all right, here we go. I'm like,
what if NXT went back to Wednesdays? I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I mean,
I don't. It's gotten its lumps, and that's a little bit more competitive. You know, like NXT's. Like all right. NXT is purely developmental. We want a good competitive number. And CW, a lower tier broadcast network, so more people are going to be able a chance to see it. But it's CW. All right. There's no dismissal of CW. Like they're a company, they're a channel rebooting itself and investing in sports and kind of like appointment programming that sports comes with.
Yeah. But yeah,
so I don't know. But if they wanted to move that show, it wouldn't be on Mondays. So Netflix is paying for that Monday Night Raw appointment we've had since the 90s.
Yeah.
SmackDown, though, SmackDown has jumped around the whole time it's existed.
It has.
It's moved from night to night to night to night. It's been on Fridays before. It's been on Tuesdays before. It's been on the USA Network before. It could jump around again.
Might as well put it on a Wednesday. See what
And
happens.
the point you made there, I don't think they want to go up against football. So what night? What night could we take?
Now, if they do this,
and they announce it before AEW has a TV contract, and that TV contract is up. That TV, the term was the red zone. AEW is in the red zone of getting this new deal with Warner Brothers, and that is basically who they're talking to. They're in a negotiation window. They can negotiate with other people. There's no reports that are validated in any way of people they could talk to.
what do you do if you're AEW? If WWE,
What do you do if you're Warner Brothers?
Exactly. Oh my!
You have a show that can perform well on Wednesdays, and you can move it around like crazy with your sports stuff. And maybe we'll figure out how we get it on our streaming platforms. I know we're talking media business stuff, and maybe we've lost people, but this is the stuff that I love talking about with you.
Yeah. Yes.
I love how do you move these chess pieces with all the money that's on the line.
It's going to be.
But if SmackDown moves to Wednesdays, AEW's got to move.
Yeah, they're screwed.
Like they would have to move.
Especially from what you said, if they announce that they're moving to Wednesday before AEW gets their contract done. Oh man.
And this is all hypothetical. We're literally throwing. We've covered all of our stories today. You and I, at no point before we started the show, said,
"No, we didn't know."
Let's just make up this bullshit scenario where SmackDown moves. But I don't know why they came across my head. Yeah.
It'd be crazy. It would be crazy to say the least. That would change some things around. It would definitely, ruffle some feathers in the wrestling world with other promotions and networks. But
I mean, I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, are you pro WWE and your aunt?" I'm not pro wrestling, buddy. I
love AEW.
I would bro. I love it too. I went to the show a couple weeks ago. I had a great time. Are they in a tough position? Are they trying to figure some things out? Have they had poorly done injuries? Have they had some inconsistent storylines? They're doing Ospreay versus Okada.
Yeah,
on TV.
It's crazy.
On TV.
That's something that you pay to see.
Yes. And that's a setup match for a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely, they're growing. They're a newer company. We got to give them, some
still
growing.
5 years.
Yeah. So they're doing well for where they're at. But
if you step away from it and you understand they're a privately held company.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to TNA. TNA is having a very good week. They are going to be in Montreal on Saturday. Their show coming up this weekend, Slammiversary, will have the company's biggest attendance in over 10 years. It emerged over the weekend. This is from Cultaholic. Slammiversary is now a sold-out show, 4,000 fans. Are they WWE? No. Are they AEW? Who knows? Maybe at this point we can start putting them back in that conversation. But anyway, the Verdun Auditorium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Quebecois. The pay-per-view will be held this Saturday. Prominent names from Canada, PCO, Pierre Carl Ouellette, and, of course, Speedball Mike Bailey going to be featured on hand for that. And this is they've been running smaller places, like 1,600 seat rooms. They've been running, soundstage shows in out of Nashville, and obviously they had the Impact Zone, Universal Studios they were at for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And much the card already finalized. Moose will defend that world championship, 6-way elimination with Joe Hendry. Do you believe in him?
I believe
Frankie Kazarian, Nick Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler, Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin. So, wow.
It's a good match. Good card.
Good. I mean, and good for them. And TNA is endured. I think there's something in saying that. There's something in saying that.
Yeah, and I love that NXT, WWE is opening that door and working a lot with TNA. It's really cool to see. And they're working with Noah. It's just, I love that they're not just, we're only here now, and they're opening the doors. They're letting people in, letting people go. It's just probably a great relationship for these wrestlers now with the top heads in the company. And they probably feel better about working for WWE too because of all this. But
it's just, if you're TNA and you're not going to flip the tables of the world in the next year, is this the best way to survive? It's a company that's making cuts, trying to survive. They're owned by Anthem Entertainment, and what's their media distribution? Is it limited? Is it, like a lot of people say things on the surface, but then I go to their shows. I was there when they flipped it back to TNA. Huge reaction. They still have great matches, compelling characters, consistent storylines, so.
And look at what it's done for these TNA wrestlers who have appeared on NXT too. I mean, they're getting massive reach, and
some NXT names have went over there. This will be my conflict with it. Some NXT names have gone over to TNA. They went over Charlie Dempsey. I think he was the highest ranking name I saw that they sent over. Not sending over Trick Williams. They're not sending over the big names. They're sending over some people that are there. Right. But Joe Hendry, the big, like one of the top 3 or 4 guys they have in the company is over there.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying. Like, NXT, can you return the favor to us? Hey, send one of your top people.
But I think the favor is already done. The favor is already done by having the favor is already done by having Joe Hendry appear and say he's from TNA Wrestling.
Yeah, you're very right. Because now more people.
The favor was done when Jordan Grace came out with the Royal Rumble. She's the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion.
Hey, my coworker Gabriel,
and then they did a premium live event. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. No, Gabriel. Sorry, I'm shouting you out. You watch this show. He's maybe not going to be here, but he does watch the show. But he has started to tune in to TNA much more because they're coming over to NXT, and he's intrigued. He's like, "Oh, I like," and every single day,
your catch, just checking out the clips and stuff.
Yeah, and everybody's on Joe Hendry's boat right now. I mean, that guy, he's got one of the number one single in the world, in certain parts of the world. But I mean, it's
the small territories.
Yes,
the same spots where we chart our podcast.
Right, but still,
we're the number 8 wrestling podcast in Tunisia. I don't know if that's true, but there's been weeks when we're like, all right, we're number 1.
I think it was number 1 in the UK on the charts. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. But yeah.
All right, enough of the chitter chatter. We've said enough. Once again, we are brought to you by BrainBuster. It's Sportskeeda.com. Don't type it too fast. And you can play that game every single day. Like I say, make it your appointment. Just click over to Sportskeeda.com. I don't want to read the news. I already know what happened today. Well, we got that for you, and we got the news. Mm-hmm. So definitely go give it a look. Of course, we'll have a whole bunch of fun content popping off for you. A new episode of Dutch Men Tell covering SmackDown and everything that happened there. You can get his insight as a should be in the Hall of Fame. WWE should put it in the Hall of Fame. That is up on the WrestleBinge YouTube channel if you want to click over to their YouTube channel. And of course, tonight we'll have Vince Russo. I'll be on that show playing. I'll play today's version of BrainBuster with them. SmackDown moving to Wednesdays. The war on Wednesdays is coming back. I'm not saying it's coming back. We just kind of fell into that topic, and I just wanted to touch on it because I think it would be insane.
It would be insane. It would be absolutely crazy. But
I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to stay on Fridays and try to own cable television on Friday nights. But I just think, I don't know, cable TV, that it's just a different ball game in terms of ratings on a Friday night, unless you're live sports. So let us know what you think. Get in the comments below. If you're watching on demand, thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate that you're listeing on demand here on the podcast side of things. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. We're getting back to the swing it with the audio feed, by the way. So we're going to have I had some issues last week with the audio feed, but we've corrected those, and we will be back on the game. Go ahead and give us a follow and like on whatever the podcast audio apps you're on. And, of course, follow Sportskeeda Wrestling on all the different apps. We're on Snapchat. You and I are dropping stuff on there. We're on the YouTube Shorts. We're everywhere, baby. Instagram, whole bunch of different stuff happening left and right.
That's right.
They can follow you where? Where can they follow you, buddy?
You can follow me on the X or Instagram at Nick_Harksen. That's NICK_HARKSEN.
You can follow me on the Instagram at KevKellum6. At KevKellum6. I'm nearing 2,000 followers.
Get this man a shootout.
Come on. Like I say it every week. Okay. I'm gonna say it again here. Kev Kellum at Kev. No, that's my Twitter, right? I gotta type things right. Oh, okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Right, I can't type it right. But no, you can follow me at KevKellum6. And once again, drop yours for him, buddy. At
NICK_HARKSEN on the X and IG. Give me a follow. I'll respond to you guys.
Oh, here we go. But someone just hopping in here at the end.
Hey, go Lions!
They're cheering for your Lions there.
Let's go! It's almost football season, so you know I'm getting crazy over here. But
there you go. Is it possible Roman Reigns shows up at SummerSlam? WrestleMania, I almost said it. Yeah, it's possible.
I think. I don't know. I saw.
It'd be a hell of a way to end the show.
It'd be crazy. It'd be awesome.
Hell of a way to end the show.
I have one more question for you, Kev, before we get out of here. Did you see Alexa Bliss's Instagram story with her doing?
No. What is this? This is complete news to me.
She was jumping off the top rope doing her Twisted Bliss, training to make a return to the ring.
How long has it been since she wrestled? Over 2 years?
It's been a while.
She had a baby. She had a baby.
Yep. Got married.
And the last thing that she did on TV was like lose a match, and then they teased Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Like doing something on a screen or something like that. Like she was going to go back into the Wyatt world of spookiness.
Yes. But I didn't mean to bring
there's only 5 people on television currently.
They could go from SICKS to SIX.
Hey, that sounds sexual.
I said SI.
No, it's gross.
Didn't mean to go there.
It's gross. It's gross.
That's how.
Get your head out of the gutter.
4, 5, 6.
Get out of it. No, I heard it.
Come on. Why are you making me?
It is that West Coast California perversion.
No way. I was not going there at all. Oh, man. I'm red over here now. Look at this.
Close all your tabs. Delete your history.
I'm done. I'm over for it. This is it. My career's ruined. There was an I in there.
What's the Tiger? What's the Tiger King line? I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be at it. A whole bunch of content coming up, by the way, with SummerSlam. We're going to have boots on the ground. I know Bill Apter's going to be there, so it's going to be really great. Thank you guys so much for following everything we do here at Sportskeeda Wrestling. And remember, when watching wrestling, please do the most important thing, which is what?
Enjoy wrestling.
Yeah. Stop asking creepy questions, dude. Come on.